Hello there. If you have ever wondered why does my doctor take so long for my appointments and why do I have to wait so long? Well, then you've come to the right place. Hey, how are you doing? I am Dr. ADHD. I am a specialist physician who also happens to have ADHD, and I like to talk about things in healthcare, relationships, and pop culture. So if you want to hear more, stick around and I will give you our deep, dark secret about why we take so long to see you in office, and often why we're late. Okay, one of the reasons we will say is being a doctor is not as easy as some other appointments that you might make. You know, like appointments with clients, to discuss projects, appointments with, I don't know, getting your hair done. And even with getting your hair done, sometimes your hairstylist is going to run over. The thing about being a doctor is we deal with people on, their average day, just getting medical refills or medicine refills. But we also deal with people who are getting horrible diagnoses or who are having horrible life events. Like I've had patients come in and, their family member is on life support and their blood pressure is sky high. And I have to talk to them and assess, like, is this normally your high blood pressure or is this just due to stress of everything you're going through right now? I've had to have patients who not only have cancer, but then their spouse is also dying of cancer and they don't know how they're going to take care of themselves. They don't know what they're going to do. And those sorts of people, you just can't rush out of the room. If you got a horrible diagnosis, would you prefer that your doctor spent extra time with you, or would you want them to be like, oh, time's up, get out? So that leads us to our number 2 thing. You're like, well, why don't you just schedule a longer appointment so that way you can have that leeway built in? The thing of it is insurance companies are now paying doctors less and less. They are actually paying us 29% less than they did 10 years ago. And if you are an adult who has had to pay for things in the last 10 years, things have increased exponentially. So if a doctor owns their own clinic, what they get paid by insurance has to not only pay the doctor, but it pays their bills, it pays their staff, it pays their nurses, it pays for their electronic medical record that we have to have. It pays for the person who does our yard work, it pays for our rent, it pays for the electricity, it pays for the phone bill. Like what we get paid has to pay everybody else. It goes to our overhead. And to be able to keep up to afford our staff, we have to see more and more patients. And yet there's only so many hours in the day, so now we're having to see patients very quickly and very jam-packed, or we won't be able to pay our nurses or our front desk ladies, and we won't be able to pay the entire department that we have to just get a fair pay from insurance companies. So number 3, leading into number 3, was I already talking about insurance companies? Again, reminder, I have ADHD. Insurance companies fight us tooth and nail for every single dollar we're owed. Like, they will not pay us at all. So we have to actually pay people full-time salaries just so they can fight with insurance companies so we can get what we actually deserve and pay. In the same hand, we also have to fight with insurance companies to get a medication prescribed for a patient, or to get the imaging they need, or to get the referral they need, which again, we have to pay people to do those battles for us unless we have to do a peer-reviewed conversation where supposedly we talk to one of our peers and we discuss with them about why the patient should have it, which again is going to make us late for our appointments because we can't leave any open time in our day, or again, we won't be able to afford our staff. Again, this is for United States. Countries where they don't have to deal with insurance companies, I'm sure, are a lot better off, but they're not paying us our worth. Insurance companies also will come back and take thousands of dollars from us in clawbacks. They'll be like, oh, this appointment that you had 10 years ago, we don't feel like we should pay for that. Actually, we feel like we shouldn't pay for that at all. So you better give us the money right now or we won't pay you for any of your patients that you've seen ever. My father actually had cancer, and as soon as he had cancer, a insurance company said that he needed to be audited, and they kept auditing him, and they're like, oh yeah, keep seeing patients, we'll pay you eventually. And he went into serious debt, and he died with that company owing him millions of dollars for years of work, because most of his patients were under that company. And I lost his clinic that he built from the ground up because I couldn't pay the bills that he went into debt for because he was still waiting for these insurance companies to pay him. And then third of all, as you can see, owning your own clinic is very, very hard. It's very expensive. And if you take insurance, it is almost impossible to own your own clinic, your own successful clinic, because insurance companies are doing everything in their power to destroy doctors. They really hate us because we actually want what's best for our patients, and they are doing everything they can to unalive you guys. Seriously. They do not like you guys living. I don't know why, because you can't pay for them anymore, but they would rather you be than to have to pay for anything for you. So because of that, many doctors are having to work for private equity. So what's private equity? Private equity is basically a bunch of really rich people who invest in healthcare, and they buy out hospitals, they buy out clinics, they buy out this. And are they like doctors, who spent decades of their life studying just to make people's lives better? No. They probably are Nepo babies. Their daddy got them the job, and while they were in school, they were probably, while they were in Vegas, having a super fun time. While I was busy studying how to take care of people, they were learning how to make the most profits. And so they see patients and doctors as just lines on an Excel sheet. They actually consider us an expense. They actually are trying to get rid of doctors completely and replace us with cheaper models, because they don't want to pay us, because they see us as an expense rather than the people who are literally making them their money, because, we're the ones actually doing the work. And they will take all of our profit, take all of our money, and then they give us like a little measly payout, and then they force you to see more and more and more and more and more patients. They double book you, they triple book you, which means they make an appointment at the exact same time because they don't want to risk some people not showing up. And so doctors have no control anymore. We actually have zero control in healthcare anymore. So that's another reason. And then you can't even just forget, without all the sad stuff, without all the horrific insurance companies and these people who are buying us out and treating us horribly, some patients are just late, man. Patients show up 10 minutes late to a 15-minute appointment. They're not counting for the fact that my medical assistant has to take them to the back, has to check their vitals, has to ask what medications they're on, which we will go have a whole nother video about why we ask what medications you're taking and why you should just tell us instead of saying, well, it's in the computer. Yeah, the computer isn't right all the time, sis. Just tell me what you're taking. But patients show up late, and that makes me late because then I have to see them, and then I have to see someone so that's why we ask you to show up early to your appointment, because I would recommend if you're going to an appointment, show 15 minutes early. Even though I know you're going to be like, oh, well, when I show up on time, the doctor is late. Yeah, because if you show up on time, technically you're already late because you should be in your room at that time. In your room at the time, not in the building at that time. You should be in the exam room at that time. So if you show up at your exam time, someone who showed up early, well, we're going to room them. And we're going to see them because no guarantee that you're going to show up. So if you're not there on time, or you're a minute late, you're 5 minutes late, you get pushed back behind the people who were there early. And I know you're that's not fair, blah, 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 blah. But you have to realize when I'm seeing 30 plus people in a day, I don't have time, especially me who likes to take time and talk with my patients. I don't have time to just sit around and wait till you're exact, okay, you're going, I'm just going to fit in whoever I can fit in. And if you're late, okay, I'll still see, I will still see my patients if they're late, but they have to make account for that I will be late seeing them. So, and I know it's hard. Trust me, I get that it's hard to have a doctor's appointment. I myself, as a physician, really suck at making time for myself to go to the doctor because this is America and we're in end-stage capitalism and we can't take care of ourselves because none of us can pay our bills. Like, I am a specialist physician and I drive a 10-year-old Honda Accord and I live in an apartment and I have no children because guess what? Children are expensive and nannies are asking for the same amount of money that I take home after taxes. I'm like, how can I pay you? Like, how are you making the same as me after taxes? Like, that's how little I'm making. Like, people think doctors make millions and millions of dollars. Maybe the surgeons, and I'm talking about like the plastic surgeons, cosmetic surgeons who take cash. Yeah, they might make millions. But for those of us who are just like your normal, like non-procedural specialists, I make as much as a Buc-ee's gas station manager. So if you go online, Google it, Buc-ee's gas station manager, you can see how much they make, and that's how much I make. Of course, I'm on the top end of one, which I'm sure is, most of them don't make the top end, but the fact my salary is the same, which, don't be pissed off in the comments and be like, meh, 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 meh. Like, people absolutely deserve a living wage. I am like, heck yeah, Buc-ee's, pay your workers. I'm all for it. But also, can I maybe make some money because I'm $500,000 in debt and it's a pretty high interest rate and I would just like to pay off my debt. And I would also like to make money that's fair for the amount of liability that I'm taking on dealing with lives every day. Because I'm trying to save a particular organ that a lot of people would be really upset if it quit working. So yeah, that's my ADHD rant about why your doctor is late to your appointment. If you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, it really helps me out. And in the comments, ask me what else you want to know about doctors. I'll tell you all our deep, dark secrets. I think I'm going to make one soon about the C word, the C answer word. But I just got to figure out how I'm going to do that without like being censored too much while it's still making sense. It really sucks that as a doctor I can't use like medical terms without getting censored. I don't know how bad YouTube censors are. It's not like I make money on this channel anyway, so what does it matter? So just comment below what kind of topics you want to know from doctors, like things that you've like secretly always wondered about. And eventually I'm going to get an editor and I'm going to have really cool videos like Charlotte Dobre. But right now, like I said, I make as much as a gas station manager, so I can't afford an editor right now. I could probably afford an editor for like a few videos a week, but I kind of want to start posting daily just to answer questions and to talk to y'all. And, I hope you like this kind of content where we just get to chit chat and talk like besties. And then we can, grow together. You can say you knew me when I had my little tiny YouTube account, and one day I'll make a video that will be big. Okay, guys. So I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm sure you look beautiful, and I will see you in the next one. All right, bye.